All right, that was very good. Thank you for sharing that. Now we will, oh, here he is.
Hey there, sorry to be late.
We've covered a whole lot of stuff, but we left a lot for you.
I don't have anything. If I can get this to quit. Thank you for being here. No, the reason I wanted to meet tonight was about academic difficulty. As you know, we're always running short in Gardner Webb on money, and the biggie now is retention. And so if you have anybody, just like Robin and I talked last Sunday night about, she's got one, we want to make sure that we do all we can to get in touch with them, but you know, we're required to keep that quickly attendance. It's based on weekly, not whether they come to our Zoom sessions, but they turn in their assignments, and we need to violate them as quickly as possible so that that add F that they're not attending, that they violated. Because if not, at the end of the semester, they act like it's our fault they didn't come, or they didn't know, or you know, what have you done to try to keep them? Well, I'm not loaning people money. I mean, that's really about, it appears to me that the reason why we lost so many this spring of the new ones, I mean, I read every one of those, it was all financial. I don't know whether they're not loaning money or whether financial aid's not coming through. I don't know what the deal is, but it's financial, the reason why students are not sticking. But you know, we can't fix that part. Who was I was talking with yesterday was talking about that you know. And so, but the biggie is, you know, check your points, you know, check your assignments, check your points, make sure that we don't have any that aren't attending that we're not aware of. I've got one who's on the verge of 603s. I've got one who's on the verge of attendance violation. She did one assignment over the weekend to keep her 1 week ahead of, you know, of being attendance violated. What's her name? Starts with a W, the very last one on the list.
Dale.
Yes.
I hate to interrupt you, but Robin, do you want to mention to him what you told us earlier about watching these recordings?
Well, I just have a former student that made a comment to me recently that I guess he can go into your YouTube channel and have access to our public staff meetings, and he's been watching some of our staff meetings.
Yeah. I guess what we ought to do is make them private. Now that somebody's figured out where they are, and just, you know, since we do talk about students. So I guess we ought to.
I don't think he has ill intent.
I don't need the staff meeting. I don't need the recording of the staff meeting. And if you've got any documents, you can just email them to us.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's really all we need.
Yeah, is just, I'll make them private and we'll send the link out. We can do that.
Yeah, I don't think he had any ill intent. I just think that I think he just came upon it and thought, oh, this could be interesting.
Well, I think the problem with that is we do discuss students and academic. So I guess I'll make them private and I can send the link out that way, and only the people that get the link can use it. So
Right.
I won't make the link public, so I can fix that. That's no problem. But that's good to know that somebody's finally figured out how to do this. But
And also, since I'm on there, you did send this for 3 o'clock today. You notice that?
I sent it for 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I just noticed that it's not there. I tried, probably just my mistake.
Well, I just want, I did text you on that, so don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
But my account just locked me out, so it's been wonky for a little bit here, but it was probably me. Sorry about that. I won't blame it, although I am having problems. We're all having problems with these paid accounts. I don't know what the deal is, but I've lost a couple recordings lately and some other things. I lost one of our 603 classes, and I lost one segment from Saturday before last in my doctoral classes. So probably just operator error on my part. but it seems to default back to what it wants to do. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Part of it
Dale,
is
in
I'm not
Blackboard,
running it through internet. I'm not running it through the same browser is my problem. But I
I
know
don't
that.
know, yeah, I don't know if Robin's had this problem or not, but when students create a thread and discussion board, like if they're sending in task 4 for peer and instructor review, I give feedback on it and I do an attachment. The first time the attachment goes through, if they send something back in that same thread and I do another attachment and I go in there and do the same thing, it shows it there, but it's denying them access to whatever it is. And I can't fix it.
I don't, that's my point is since they went in and fixed Blackboard or updated Blackboard over Christmas, I can't use Internet Explorer anymore with Blackboard and Zoom, and I've had to switch to Chrome, and I'm having, Blackboard is working better, but Zoom is working worse using Chrome. That's what I was referring to. I'm having these issues. I get them both up and running. I keep them up. I don't mind that part, but for whatever reason, Zoom's not doing well with Chrome, but Blackboard is not working at all. It won't let you open any documents. That's Internet Explorer. You can't open any you can't even open your students' work documents if you're using it. So I've gone to Chrome on it, but I don't like, I'm getting a lot of error messages even on Chrome. An error message will pop up that your access is denied, and I click OK, then it'll let me go right on in. And it's making me, and every time I do a copy and paste, it's, you know, another box pops up. Do I want to keep the formatting or not? But I'm getting a lot of that stuff in Blackboard, and my Zoom account has become very unstable as well. And so, but they announced today we got a new fellow. Did you see that in the web? We've got a new IT person. He was doing cybersecurity at Montreat. So I don't know. And so I hope that this is going to be helpful, since we haven't had anybody in about a year or so in charge of that bunch. And so I'm hoping this will help with our technology. What was that fellow's name? He looked like a cyber nerd. So I'm hoping he looks like he knows what he's doing. He looks like he could calculate pi to about the 17th digit just off the top of his head. So I'm hoping.
It looked like he needed a haircut.
Yeah, he looked like about the size of Rod, with a shirt big enough to fit me, because the button on his collar was about down to here. He looked rather homeless, but you know, them nerdy people, they just kind of.
Now, who are you cutting there, Dale? Me or you?
No, I'm talking about me. You could have stuck your fist, but the collar on his shirt would have fit me, and he was about the size fellow as you, though. So either he's lost a lot of weight, or he's just not really a fashion icon. But he looks like somebody off the Big Bang Theory. So hopefully he's got the brains to go with that look, because he certainly looks like he'd be a nerd. I'm hoping he can get that bunch straightened out. You know, we still can't get our update site supervisor button to work. And that leads me to my last thing today. So the decision is going to be that the folks this spring and summer in the add-on will not be able to get a second degree. They've decided that they can't do that it will be for the folks in the fall, will be the first group. And they're going to make them apply, and they're going to put a button in like update site supervisor to make them apply. I can't see a thing in the world that could go wrong with that. And so I'm not happy that they're not going to let the 3 this spring or the 100 this summer apply and get a second master's degree. I don't know why they can't get this done before then, but they say they just can't get it done before then. So I'm not happy about that, but you know, their job's not to make me happy.
Dale, was it ever decided, did DPI ever decide for sure if our candidates have to take an exam?
Oh yeah.
So,
And
so I
but
just
that-
know we haven't said anything to these students about it. There's nothing. So I didn't know. The
Okay.
We
Well,
probably need to talk about that whenever we
we'll
have
have to,
our
we'll
town
have to
hall.
talk about, but I mean, the news has gotten, I wouldn't say worse, but more restrictive. So right now, what we know is they're going to increase the years from 3 to 4. They have to have 4 years teaching experience before they're going to license them rather than 3. They are going to have to take the exam, which is no big deal. Our folks, most of them take it anyway already. But what's going to kind of sneak up and get us is if you have a specialist degree, they're not going to let you add on to it. What that means is if you're a school counselor or a school psychologist or like a facilitator, if you don't have an A teaching license, you can't, they're not going to license you as an administrator. You must have a teaching license. And even if you have, a counselor's license or a psychologist or whatever, social worker, we get a lot of those kinds of people. They're not going to license them unless they've got an A teaching certificate. And so there's a lot of those people who don't. I was principal at Oak Hill in Morganton or north of Morganton when the decision was made that counselors would no longer have a teacher's license, that they didn't have to do that and have so many years and then become a counselor. So, I mean, we've had 30 or 31 years of folks not having to have been a teacher first to be a counselor. So there's a lot of those out there that do not have a teaching license. There's a lot of psychologists. There's a lot of facilitators. There's a lot of folks in our business that do. Yeah, there's Mark. I believe he was a counselor. I don't know. I still don't know why I like him so much, even though he was a counselor. But that's what I mean. It's been 30 or 31 years since they required you to have a teaching license in North Carolina to be a counselor. And so, but now all of a sudden, if you have a counselor that applies for our program for the second masters or that what we now call the add-on, it's going to be a no. And so like folks who have MBAs that have been doing add-ons, we can still take them as long as they've got an A license, like they've been a business teacher. We can still get them in, but it's going to hurt us on a lot of our, what we call student service people. It's really going to hurt us on them.
And that starts effective in the fall?
Yep. If you haven't completed one course by August, all the people, everybody that we've got in the program now is okay. But all the folks we take in August will be under the new rules.
Yes,
And so 4 years, exam, teaching certificate, no matter what your area is, you're going to have a teaching certificate for that. So that could get a little bit ugly, I'm afraid. But that's going to be the new rules. But doing the second master's degree is going to fix all this. I don't know why it's taking so long. I've done all the back office stuff with Luann and Becky and all these people and got the fees approved through the provost's office. What was that, 2 or 3 years ago? We made our own certificates for a while, and then we finally got approval to go to Jostens. I mean, literally, Sherry's got to press this button rather than that. The only thing that changes is they get sent a piece of paper from Jostens that says Master of Arts rather than certificate, licensure cert. I mean, literally, that's the only difference. They'll pay, the fee's already been approved. It'll just move from 75 to 150. But all that stuff that actually does take years has already been done. Now all they got to do is the catalog changes, and they're acting like that they're having to give blood to do that. So I don't know. I just saw an email that just come flying by a minute ago with more on that. But I certainly, I could kind of understand that we wouldn't allow the people this spring. There's only 3 of them off cycle. what's his name, Matt Garcia, and a couple more. But we've got a big bunch this summer that we could be given a second degree to. I don't know why in the world we can't go ahead and do that. But you know, understanding that the people that are in charge of doing this are the very people that said that we couldn't do it, that said it was a substantive change and that we couldn't do it, and all got together and agreed among themselves that they were the experts. And then, of course, when it was decided that they weren't the experts, I don't know why folks think that folks like that, you know, that they're not going to try everything they can to roadblock you. The decision from a couple of the offices, you know, up the hill at Gardner Webb was we couldn't do this. And then, of course, somebody told them, yeah, they can. And now they're dragging their feet. So that's what's going on. It's just foot dragging right now. We said no, but we got overruled, and so we're going to pout and act childish. That's basically what's happening. It's pouting and acting childish right now. But that's the norm when you don't get your way. And so, but that could jump up and bite us over all those summer people. They're not going to be happy because they're going to need that degree to be competitive in the market, because everybody after them is going to have it. See, that's the thing about it is that's 100 or more students that are now in 603 that are not going to be competitive in the market come August. And they're not going to be happy campers. And so we've not heard the end of that. They will not be satisfied customers when they find out that their certificate doesn't count anymore, and that they're behind they're behind the group that comes out after them. They won't be happy. So we'll see how that goes. Our time is up. I appreciate y'all waiting on me. Again, my truck was in the shop and they called me. I had to come get it today. They wanted the money. And so I had to run and get it. I didn't know till 10 after 4 that they wanted me to come get it today when they called me. So I'm back on the road again. It was a little too cold to ride that motorcycle, especially up Lake Lure with all that ice on the ground up there. So I'm back on the road again, so we should be good. All right. I thank you for joining me today. If there's anything that you need, let me know. Renita, you and Russell and I probably need to talk maybe tomorrow evening. If y'all have got some time, I'll send out an email. And can you meet like at, what have I got on the calendar for tomorrow? 6 or 7? Can you meet like?
Yeah, seven's always a good time for me.
That's better for me. I can't never. You saw me today. I'm always screaming to get into a 6 o'clock meeting. So let's go ahead. I'll send y'all a link. If it says 3 o'clock like the one today, know that it's going to be at 7. We need to get our game plan together for our case study Wednesday night. So we got some mini presenting.
Okay, sounds
Wednesday
good.
there at midnight. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow at 7. All right, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.